with the main paisan, with the man of the hour. There he is, Tommy, all done up and
How
doing the
you
town.
doing? How you doing?
Tommy, man, you got a big show coming up this Friday on ProBox from the Prudential
Yep.
Center, where the New Jersey Nets, now the Brooklyn Nets, used to play with my man Vince Carter and Devin Harris and all them.
Mm,
But man, first of all, congrats to you getting to put it on in a major arena. And I
thank you.
got some good young talent on the card with Keith Cologne, Emmanuel Chance, and it's headlined by what is it, Johan Gonzalez, and who's Gonzalez fighting again?
Herbert Suso, Conceição Suso, Brazilian gold medalist.
So are you still training in the gym while getting ready to promote a show at the Prudential Center?
I am, bro. I'm always in the gym, man. So I own the gym, so I'm always in there. Whether if it's training clients or just staying fit. I'm always in the gym, bro. Always in the gym, and I love it.
And you said you own the gym?
I do. I do. It's a small 1,200 square foot gym. It's in a small town in Jersey, 30 minutes outside Philly, 30 minutes outside Atlantic City, kind of right dead in the middle. So, yeah, man. Yeah, so it just keeps me in the gym. It keeps me it keeps me active, and it's a second home for people. A boxing gym is just a second home for people in general. People don't know how much a boxing gym could really save a life.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So I'm fortunate that I could, do that. We have a good amount of kids. We have young, inspiring amateurs looking to eventually one day, take that leap into the pro games. So you never know.
You also got to be close to a lot of pretty good talent, being not too far away from the Jersey area where a lot of talent like Ray and Shakur have come out of, and then Philly, which is, one of the most storied boxing cities on the planet, let alone the United States. So
Facts.
I'm sure you get a lot of talented fighters that come through your gym at times, right?
Yeah, man. So Ray comes to the gym all the time. Ray
Okay.
trains there when he's here because we have the same trainer. One of the same reg, so yeah, he's in the gym all the time. His little nephew is part of the kids program on Fridays and Saturdays, so it's pretty dope. And yeah, I mean, a lot of Philly guys, you know what I mean, come through. South Jersey guys come through. Jan Marcos, Raul Garcia. Raul's the main of, I'm sorry, the co-main of my event of
Hmm.
the Friday, but Jan Marcos is the co-main event for Saturday's event because the Pro Box is doing a double header. Yeah, sorry. Pro Box is doing a double header Friday and Saturday. You know what I mean? So it's a weekend event. I should say double header, but somewhat double header. But they did their camp at my gym, which is pretty dope. And yeah, so it's real like private. It's small. It's 1,200 square feet. We have a 16-foot ring. We have what, one, two, three, four, six heavy bags, a double end bag, speed bag, mirrors, place to jump some rope, do some calisthenics, and it's kind of it. You know what I mean? So we make the most of what we got, and yeah, man, it's really dope. God willing, we could grow into something bigger in the future.
Well, yeah, speaking of growing something bigger, ProBox, they had like 100,000 people in there for the Lester Martinez joint. They are doing big numbers, man. I mean, I seldom see those numbers even for bigger platforms like when DAZN. Now, granted, this is the bigger platforms doing their preliminary shows, whereas whereas ProBox is doing their main slate of fights. But man, they're kind of blowing up right now through like a grassroots hardcore boxing fans movement. So, are you excited to? Is this your first show in association with ProBox? And like, how excited are you? Do you get
Yeah.
nervous like it's a fight? And yeah, what do you think of what they're doing?
So I love what they're doing. I love what they're doing. What I love more is, Gary Jonas is somewhat young, but the guy that also runs the day to day behind the scenes is, his stepson, Danny,
Daniel
Danny
Rubin.
Rubin.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and that he's like, we're the same age. He's a little bit younger than me, actually.
He looks
So
young.
yeah, so we connect, we connect. We do connect. Um, Pro Box is, in my opinion, the old show box, or I'm sorry, the new show box.
Hmm.
Um, Great competitive matchups. I love the fact that though it's not always 12-0 versus 12-0. You're right, but it's like we have a gold medalist fighting a former world title challenger. Actually, fun fact, it was a former supposed to be my opponent. I was supposed to fight him 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and his people, what I mean, he's with like the PBC crew. His people like he fought Jesus Ramos. It was a bigger fight. You know what I mean? It was a bigger fight. He was kind of like, he was known, but like, what he was gonna get from me, he got, you know, five, six, seven times more. So like he did it. So we didn't fight. But it's cool to see and he fought a lot on, 5 days notice, 4 days notice. So he's a former world title challenger. It's cool that we get to see that on Pro Box. You know what I mean? Where Showbox was always 15-0 versus 15-0. You might only have one loss, and it got to be controversial. Pro Box gets it. Like you can't always do that. You know what I'm saying? Because not for nothing, bro. Like, so I respect all fighters. I would contradict myself if I didn't. Right? Some fighters got some bitch in them, though. They got, you know what I mean? Some fighters got some bitch in them. And so, okay, well, you might not want to fight a undefeated prospect, but what about a solid contender, solid journeyman? So I love what Pro Boxer does. Like, I mean, shit, fight of the year, almost. I mean, y'all spoke about it again. Fanboy here. Anaji Lopez against the Mexican, then that stopped
Manuel
a little
Gallegos.
close. Yep, yep.
Manuel Gallegos. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. You would never see that on a showbox. You would never see that on a. You would never see that on a prelim. You would never see something like that on ESPN Plus, right? Like, no. So that's cool. To answer your question though, am I nervous? No, like it's no, it's my event. So it's like this is event, I don't know, 70-ish, maybe, I don't know. It's like there's no pressure on me, but like I wanna do good. I wanna outdo certain things like in my market, right? Um in the tri-state, nobody is in association with anybody like a Pro Box, like a Matchroom, like a PBC, right? Like they're not like that. So top rank, like you mentioned when we did Vito's
Hmm.
fight a couple years last year,
Hmm.
last June, like nobody's doing that. So I'm very fortunate, very blessed, very and I'm excited too. Um, I tell everybody, this is my first show that I'm actually like, I'm putting resources behind and like a promoter is promoting, from a good PR firm that solely is handling, well, they're supposed to be handling everything, but they're tapped in heavy with the Brazilian market, the Portuguese market. New York is a crazy Portuguese market and Brazilian. You got a gold medalist. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like Top Rank specifically hired the firm that I'm using when Robson Kosei South fought Shakur and Oshaki Foster,
Hmm.
all at Prudential Center. So
Hmm.
like I'm like, all right, well, if it ain't broke, we're not gonna, you know what I mean, we're not gonna fix it. We're gonna we're gonna go with that. So and then like we're promoting. We're just, yeah, you mentioned Keith Cologne. You can't forget, Manny Chance. Speaking of Top Rank, you know what I mean, a Top Rank fighter. Yoel Boy Cooper, the Prince of Newark, the Prince of Newark. He's 18, still in high school. He was at the media workout last Thursday. He came straight from high school to the gym. It's crazy. It reminds me of me, and that's what I love about people. Like I could have a story for damn near everybody. I might not have been through it all, but I've been through a lot. I turned pro in high school. I had two fights in high school actually. So he reminds me of me. You know what I'm saying? Um, Gabriel Garina, my guy, he's fighting in the pro box portion against an undefeated fighter. Ronnie Gelormo, great fight. I believe in my guy. I believe in my guy. Heavy. I also have Joseph Ortiz fighting William Foster. We're gonna stop him. That's a fact. We definitely stopping him.
So Foster's the
Good.
favorite, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but that's it. It's boxing. We gotta let the fights happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Derek Chisora was the favorite, right? And we
Against
seen,
Deontay, yeah. I mean, even today, right before we're recording this, Robert Merriweather, good prospect, got lost to the kid from Oakland, Tony Hirsch, on the Zuffa card.
wow,
He was like 20 to 1 favorite, something like that.
wow,
Yeah.
yeah, bro.
So
Yo, actually, that's a good fight tonight, Cortez and Garcia. I watched Garcia dance around and make he made William Foster look average
hmm
uh at Prudential Center. So Foster's going right back to the place where it wasn't sweet for him against Josephat, and Josephat's gonna change his life. He's going to box smart, box pretty, and he deserves it. Joe deserves it. And because he works hard. Um, but no, the undercards are stacked. We have a Mayweather Promotions fighter on the card. I don't really want to say the name. Well, I mean, it's not that. It's whatever. He goes by alias, and I don't want to give his government or whatever. Abdullah. So, I'm so used to his name, his real name, Eric. So I'll just leave that be. But yeah, we have a Mayweather Promotions a fighter on the card. I got my guy Showtime, Alex DeJesus. He's the social media freak. He's the one that's beefing a lot with Keyshawn Davis. They're gonna do some sparring on Twitch or stream, wherever the fuck it's
is
called.
that the Dominican kid whose girlfriend pulled up on Keyshawn? Is that
I
you?
don't know about that. Yeah, no,
Okay, is he
bro.
Dominican?
So I think he's Dominican and Puerto Rican, but like
Yeah,
he's
yeah, it might
not
have been
like he
Puerto
don't speak no
Rico.
Spanish.
Not yeah.
He don't speak no Spanish, nothing like that though. So,
Oh,
like
okay.
he's yeah, no. He's 2-0, 2-0. No, I mean but he
Oh,
can
okay, yeah.
fight.
Someone else then.
But
Yeah.
but he can fight though. But
hmm
he can fight. I'm excited for him. You know what I'm saying? Very excited for him to be seen. Okay. And then unfortunately we had a couple, some fights weren't able to come through. I'm heartbroken that my girl Lissandra Contreras it won't be fighting. She was a standout Dominican amateur champion. You know what I mean? Obviously, from the DR. Uh, women's boxing is very tough, and it's even more tough that they have like this TCL, the TBL it's called now, going on with like the 1 round fights. Everybody's in that, especially the girls. So everybody's in that. So the opponent pool is very slim. Even at like, we're talking quality people and they're in that. So it's a little tough. It was a great fight. Jason Castanon against Kevin Asmat. Kevin Asmat fell ill with the flu. So, bro, it's boxing. But we have 11 great fights on the show. Headline, like I said, by a Brazilian Olympian gold medalist against a former world title challenger. The co-main, woo, as a fan, as a fan, you got Francisco Varone, who's nonstop come forward. He had the draw with not Abdullah Mason. What's my man? He fought Chuck on my card. He fought Chuck. Oh my God.
Not Jahai, right?
Jahai Tucker.
Oh,
Jahai
okay,
Tucker.
Jahai, yeah.
He had a draw with Jahai Tucker. Um, come forward. I'm sorry, Argentinian against Raul Garcia, power punching Dominican who looks very sharp. Again, he was training at my gym. Um, Sharp, strong. That's going to be fight of the night, hands down, hands down. When you have
Who's
what?
no who no, go ahead, Tommy, and then I'll ask.
No, I'm saying two come forward guys that like kind of don't know. I mean, Raul does have a little bit of boxing skills, but 9 times out of 10, as soon as he gets like touched on his arm, he's going to come forward. So it's going to be a great fight. I can't wait for that. And then, well, I'm sorry, what were you alluding to? What were you
Well,
about
no,
to
I
say?
mean, unfortunately, I'm not familiar with the main event Brazilian who's a gold medalist. I remember
Yeah,
Falcao, who won a gold medal. Top Rank was trying to push
yeah,
him, and then he wound up losing to Janabek. I think on
yeah,
the Crawford Porter card. Acelino Freitas moved. He
yeah,
did numbers. He was a money guy. He was a draw. So I'm interested to see this Brazilian gold medalist in the main event. But the two fighters I'm most familiar with on your card are Emmanuel Chance and Keith Colon.
yeah.
Is either one of them to you the fighter with the highest upside on the card?
Um, Keith's from Newark. You know what I mean? He is Newark.
He looked good in
Shakur's
his
the
last fight on that Matias card.
yeah, bro. No,
Yeah.
he gets better. He gets better and better. He gets better and better. He's so young, right? So he
Hmm.
gets better and better. Um, uh, Look, last minute replacement opponent for him as well. I believe he's fighting some a Mexican, tough, but he's been inactive. Yeah, I think he's like 8-4, 8-5.
Yeah.
It was last minute. Okay, so we expect Heath to kind of like do what he's supposed to do in that, and then Manny Chance, man. I actually, so I'm familiar. I'm friends with Rajon, his older brother, Wheezy. So I know him. Wheezy is 10-0, maybe 10 and
Hmm.
0 with a draw, something like that. Um, um, but I met him for the first time at the media workout, and he's such a good kid, man. I know his dad Roger, obviously for a while because of Wheezy, but um, what a good kid, man. Like that, good smile, good
Big smile.
personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shakur's pulling up because of him. You know what I mean? That's like Shakur's little brother. So Shakur's coming.
I've heard good
Shakur's
things about him in the gym and top rank against top guys that he's doing his thing. Yeah.
so keep in mind, but like he was even in Vegas at like the Apex when Shakur was getting ready for TO. He was a
Uh-huh.
part of that camp.
Hmm.
So he's a part of that. You know what I'm saying? Top rank, look, top rank ain't stupid, bro. Top rank know what they're looking at. You know what I mean? And Bruce and Brad, they recognize talent. You know what I'm saying? So uh, I look, all in all, just about the card from the fact that it's at Prudential Center, the fact that it's in association with ProBox, it's going to be broadcasted on ProBox. We have Top Rank putting a guy on, with Manny, and then just like I'm also proud. Oh, I also can't forget Elijah Gonzalez. Excuse me. I will be very up front, and I'll say it live on the air, right? And when he proves me wrong, I love it. He got he's the one A side that's in deep. Elijah Gonzalez is 3-0. He's a baby. He's an infant. He's fighting Danny Murray. Dan Murray turned pro for me. Um, okay, and actually, I'll give you a fun story. Dan Murray was the unbeknownst to me, he was the sacrificial lamb where I discovered Nahir Albright. Nahir beat the fucking Christ out. I'm sorry, Brooklyn. He beat the shit out of Dan Murray, like respectfully, pillar to post. It was like it was a crazy nonstop 12-minute ass whooping, and I was like, holy shit! And then that's where I told you like with the last interview how I got Wu signed with us, whatever. But he Dan Murray is like a crafty veteran, man. If you ever look at his record, he fought guys, he beat undefeated, he goes the distance. Sometimes he's a little soft to the body, so he gets touched a little bit and he goes down. He had 2 fights ago. He upset somebody on my card. Justin Palmieri, who's my guy. That was an accident. That he got a win on accident, right? So, if you're not good enough and if you're not ready, bro, you're gonna get Dan Murray is rough work to deal with. So that's the only A side guy, in my opinion. Everybody else, is probably the 70-30, 65-45 advantage or whatever. I'm sorry, 65-35 to win. But um, Elijah Gonzalez, he's in pretty tough. That's a 50-50, maybe 55-45 for him, but it's tough. But getting back to what I was saying, I'm proud of the card. I'm proud of the
Hmm.
undercard. I'm proud to say that myself, Ron Katz, who's a living legend, okay,
Yep.
Dan and Danny Rubin from ProBox, alongside I have a matchmaker, Mike Walters, who assisted with some things. I'm proud. I'm proud of the show, no matter what. You know what I mean? People can look at records. Records don't win fights. Styles make fights. Like Alex DeJesus, who's 2-0, coming off of knocking out a guy 1-0, is fighting a guy 0-3, but who only been stopped once. But he's a southpaw and he's a good slick boxer. So, I want Alex to go 2-3 rounds. I don't claim to be a matchmaker, but I claim to know that like I kind of probably know a thing or two about the come up. You know what I mean? Like we've been there, done that. Let's see what homie got instead of doing the herky jerk and all these backflips. Let's see how you handle a slick southpaw. Um, who's coming to win. So,
Oh, the East Coast Eddie Hearn. That's what he is now. He's the
man, shit. I got a long way for that, bro.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, Tommy. Between owning the gym and being, putting on shows on the East Coast, not your first show either. Man, you just I'm happy for you, man. Sounds like you've really
Thank you.
made the most out of whatever you could get out of the sport, man. So credit to you. And I know you're still training, looking for like a Caleb Plant fight, and a one. There can only be one white boy at 168, winner take all matchup.
Hey, it's white on white crime, baby.
Yeah.
It's white on white crime. So
Who's
yeah, if
tougher,
kid,
the East Coast Italian or the kid from the trailer park? It's the two alphas of the white fighter community. It's the
hey Sean, man.
two elite lineage. Is it the Eminem white boy or is it the Joe Pesci white boy? Who's better? Who's better? Let's find out.
Hey man, look, bro. Hey. What's my favorite saying? There's one way to find out.
Yeah, yeah. So
So if he wants to get cute, if he wants to be rah-rah, like we kind of attempted to be on that last the first virtual press conference, if you remember. I believe it was your question, by the way, after Jamal. I think when okay, anyway, we're not gonna talk about that. But if you want to get cute, maybe. I'm on record by saying, by the way, and they just put a press release out a couple of weeks ago. I'm on record, by the way. Danny Garcia, Caleb Plant. I'll fuck around and come out and fight. And like coming out of retirement or whatever. So we'll see. But I wish him the best
right until further notice. Right. So we'll see. We'll
until
see what
further notice.
happens.